Okay, so first for the thin gray line, I used the HR tag called the divider, and then as you can see in the CSS class, I made the height 1 pixel, I made the background color light gray, and I made the margin 0. And I obviously gave it no border in order for it to look like that, how it's wanted to be. So then for the rounded corners and the container, what I did is that, so for everything I created, like the div class container to encapsulate everything, and then obviously inside of it I made the logo container and all the other things inside of it. Then for the rounded corners, what I did in the CSS was that I made the border radius 8 pixels. I did the overflow hidden, and then I gave it a box shadow. So what the box shadow does is that it sort of creates a shadow around the corners, and I thought that would highlight the round corners even more. So I thought that was perhaps a good idea. Here it's the as you can see here. Then for the white heart icon on the gray background, so I made the heart icon class inside of the like button. So then obviously when the web page would load up, it would already be inside the button. And then I played around with the size of the heart and found 20 by 20 pixels would be good, right? It looks good enough. Then for the heart next to the text, again, I mean, I made it inside. I used span for the text, and I just had to play around with it. I made the obviously like the like button in the CSS. What made it work was the display to be flexed. The align items, I centered it. I made the gap 8 pixels, and I made obviously the background color gray, right? So then for the verified badge next to the name, I essentially used the same strategy, right? So obviously used span for the name, and then I put the what you call it, the div name container. I put the batch inside of that container, so then when the web page would load, it would already be approximately around here. So then obviously I went to the CSS, and I essentially played around with it. I made a display flex. I aligned the items to the center, made the gap 8 pixels, and that essentially did the trick. And then I centered the element containing the Tinder logo, so which is this. I made the logo inside the container, then the image class inside the logo container, and then again, obviously in the CSS, I played around and I found that if I aligned the text to center, made the padding 20 pixels, that would do the trick. And then centering the like me on Tinder, I essentially, again, obviously used the same strategy for the like. I made it inside the button. I used span, and then in the CSS, I played around, and the three things that made it work was if I set the display to flex, the justify content if I centered it, and the with fit content that also worked. If I made the with fit content, that would also work. So yep, that's about it. Thank you.